So on Tuesday, the Pietermaritzburg High Court in KwaZulu-Natal issued an order requiring the former President Jacob Zuma to reimburse the money used to refurbish his Nkandla homestead. In September of 2016, the former president took out a loan with the now-defunct VBS Mutual Bank to cover debt resulting from non-security enhancements made to his Nkandla property by the state. We now speak to VBS Mutual Bank Board and Shareholders spokesperson, Madambi Muvhulawa. Thank you very much for availing yourself, sir, this morning. What happens now?
Good morning.
Good morning to you. So what happens now? What's next in the process?
So what happens is that since the bank has been put under liquidation, a liquidator has been appointed, and we as shareholders and investors, we knew and expected that this liquidator, his purpose is to collect all the assets of the bank, and so that at the end of the day, whatever remains can be distributed to the investors, depositors, and shareholders. That's what we have been expecting from the liquidator. And the source of those assets, according to us, we expected that they would be coming from those who have stolen some of the assets, and that is the group which is under investigation by the law authorities. And another group is the physical assets that the bank have got in its possession. And the third group is the money which people have borrowed from VBS. And amongst those borrowers, there's Jacob Zuma. And we were expected that because they have signed the contract for that period to repay back the money, because they didn't steal the money, they would continue with their commitment in honoring their installment. But those who default, it is our expectation that the liquidator will do everything in his power, including taking legal steps to recover what is owed to the VBS. And now what we understand is that Mr. Zuma defaulted, and as a result, the liquidator had to follow that process of approaching the cause to give him permission to recover the money by means of selling the assets. And this gives us hope and a trust to the liquidator that he is doing his job properly, because at the end we expect that whatever he collects will be distributed amongst the crying people who have lost their money in VBS, as he has done so in the past, when they first get the first bench of 100,000 rand. And now recently they have also, each and everyone have got something, though not much. But we expect that if Mr. Zuma pays the money, that money will help increase the amount which will be paid back to the poor people who has lost money. So we expect that as a leader of the country and as a person who loves his people, he will do so, because that is not to help the liquidator. It's to help that, the people who lost money get some of their money.
Mr. Muvhulawa, as you rightfully mentioned that the liquidator is tasked with collecting all the assets of the bank, if you could just remind us how much we are talking about in total that you're hoping to recoup from all these groups that you have mentioned.
What has been borrowed to the people, according to understand, is more than 250 million. So that's according to how we understand. What has been stolen, we don't know. What the amount of the physical assets, we don't know. But we expect that the liquidator, when bring all those together, we will be able to get a reasonable amount of what we have lost.
As you rightfully mentioned, we're also made to be aware of loans for cars and houses that were almost never repaid. Are you able to tell us about other figures or other names that you are possibly hoping to get large sums of monies from?
No, remember, the information of the person borrowing the money from VBS is confidential. Even if we know some of them, we cannot reveal that. The case of Mr. Jacob Zuma, why we mention is because it has come public. Otherwise, if you asked me before it came public, I would have never revealed that information, because that is the secret between the bank and the borrower.
Thank you very much, sir, for availing yourself this morning. VBS Mutual Bank Board and Shareholders spokesperson, Mr. Madambi Muvhulawa.